Hello, my name is Chris, and in today's tutorial on the Best Choice Print website, we'll be looking at designing our own custom USB memory card. So let's go ahead, select that, and you can see we have two options. You can either design a landscape or a portrait, but for today, let's click on the portrait version of that. Before we can actually get to the actual customizing or designing of our cards, let's fill out these fields. Let's say I want 40 of these printed on both sides and at 2 gigabytes, and then the site will auto generate a print cost. You can see the total and each individual cost there. Below that, we can put in our postal code to generate a estimate shipping cost. Oops. And you can see there's two costs there. We'll just go with the first one that's selected. Below that, you can enter a name for your job and additional instructions for your order. Let's say if you need to give them specific delivery instructions, you can add this here. Or if you need to add specific requirements for your design, you can add that here as well. Let's go ahead and customize the order or design the order. So we'll wait for the template to sort of be loaded on our website or web browser, I should say. Now, there are a lot of new features that have been implemented to all our templates at bestchoiceprint.com. So let's go over them. The first one being these two buttons, the add image and add text. We've sort of made it a little bit more robust so that it's easier for you guys to use. So let's go ahead and upload an image. But before we do that, we can simply, you have two options. You can either replace the image or add the image. But for the sake of this tutorial, I'm going to just delete this one here and then add an image here. So we have four options here. Let's say if you're a returning customer, you can click on this. If you either have a Facebook or Instagram account, you can click on those, log in, and select an image from one of those accounts. So I'm just gonna go to my computer and upload this one. So as you can see here, this site generated for us, and then I can crop it. Okay, I'm quite happy with that, so I'm just gonna crop it a little bit larger so that it covers the whole thing. Now, as it stands, it's just floating over the actual template, and we don't really want that. And there's the arrangement field here. So there's bring forward, send back, bring to front, and send to back. So these two are sort of the extremes. This sends it all the way to the back, and this sends it all the way to the front. And these are sort of like the main steps. I'm just going to click on send backwards once, twice, three times, and it's all the way at the back of the template. Now it's a little bit easier to edit for you. Now, if we look at the add text, I don't like it there, so I'm going to delete this one here. So hit OK. And also this image I don't want, so I'm going to click it as well. Okay, oops. Actually, I don't need to do that. I can just simply hit undo. Alright, perfect. Alright, so now we almost have a clean slate here. Now we have a clean slate here. So I'm going to add another image, which is our logo for this card. Alright, so once that's loaded, we can simply start playing with it. I can resize it by playing with using these nodes and also rotate it using this rotation node. You can see here. I'm gonna, since I don't like that, I'm just gonna bring it back to the way it was. I'm gonna place it right in the middle there. Okay, so you have a few options here with this logo. So let's say I want to duplicate this logo, but I don't want to constantly go to the add image and do all those steps. So I can simply just click on the copy button and then hit paste, and boom, you can see that we have a duplicate there. It's quite easy to use and very handy if you have want to use create multiple of multiples of one thing. So I'm just going to delete that. Now I'm going to add a text field here. Bring it down here. I'm going to make this black. Let's say I'm going to choose a different font here. Let's say I'm going to use Boston Traffic. So I'm going to add the name, John Smith. Email is at your email at email.com. The website www.youremail.com, and probably phone number 1111. So I'll add that right there. And the size is good. The line spacing is good. So line spacing is basically the spacing between each of the lines. So if I select, let's say 12, you can see it's spaced out a little bit more. Actually, I kind of like that. You can actually play around with the character spacing too, which is basically the same idea as the line spacing, but instead of the lines, you're playing around with the spacing between each character. And then this button here, which we'll be utilizing now, is the alignment. So I'm going to align this to the center of the field so that it sort of looks nicer with the logo there. I can make this bold as well if I want, which I don't want, so I'm just going to unclick that. You can insert symbols as well and change the opacity, which is the transparency of the field that you've selected. And there's also another rotation button in here, which is a little bit more controlled than the freehand here. So this will rotate your field in clockwise on intervals of 90 degrees. So you see here. Okay, I'm quite happy with that, so I'm going to stay with that. And just remember that this is sort of the notch, or the USB is going to pop out. So make sure if you are designing, nothing critical goes here. Let's say a phone number or like a face of someone. You don't want to cut out when it's actually opened up, right? Okay, so this looks good on this side. So I'm just going to go to the other side there, and I'm going to delete all these fields because I don't need it. Actually, for this one, I'm just going to simply click Replace Image, hit Select, hit Finish Cropping, and it's cropped to the size. I'm quite happy with that. I don't want any text on that side. Let's go back to the first side. I'm quite happy with that. So at this point, you can sort of zoom in to look at the finer details if you need to. So let's say I want to go in at 200%. You can go to 200 and sort of scroll around and make sure everything's in order. Once that's done and you're happy with your design, you can actually just go to the shopping cart button here. Once you click on it, you have three options. You can either cancel the editing and return to the product page. You can save it, which is a new feature we've implemented, so that let's say you've been working on it for a while, but you have to do something else. You can simply click on this and come back at a later date and continue the design. And last but not least, you can simply approve the button if you're happy with the design. So we're happy with the design, so we're going to click on the approve button. So once that is done, you'll see a little pop-up window, sort of like a little disclaimer and also a preview of your design. So again, I've already previewed it prior to this, so I'm quite happy. I'm just going to hit I accept the conditions and hit continue. So at this point, you're actually done with the actual designing of your card. So we'll be just looking at sort of like the order status. I'm just going to remove this one here. So we'll be just looking at the quantity, the price, and also the details of the order. You can also save it here or edit. For this one, I'm just going to put in a postal code, and then we'll get a shipping cost for that. So we have two of them here. Now at this point, you can either continue shopping or check out as a guest, or if you're already logged in, you can simply click on checkout, and then you're pretty much done. If you have any other questions that I haven't covered in this tutorial, you can simply click on the help button here and then enter in your email and your question regarding your design or your order on the Best Choice Print website. Thank you for watching this tutorial. My name is Chris, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.